Hey, ladies and gents, welcome back. Doing this again. This is going to be part 1 to What If Naruto Had a Domination Seal. So with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. There's not actually going to be a like goal in this video, but just do it anyway. So yeah, let's just get right into the video itself. So like any what if of this sort, there is going to be something I'm going to have to do, a sort of disclaimer at the beginning of these type of videos. If you're not 18 or consider yourself mature enough or old enough to watch a 18 plus, quote unquote video, then click off. Don't watch this and just leave. Just go away. But if you do find yourself old enough or feel like, I'm mature enough to watch this video, then feel free to stick around. I don't really care all too much. So yeah, this what if is actually going to start off somewhere quite interesting. Naruto's going to be born, but that doesn't really change. That kind of that goes, Naruto still has to be born. That goes pretty much exactly the same. However, when Naruto is born, he has this purple seal on his right hand. He doesn't really know exactly what it does or how to use it or really do anything with it. And eventually, the time would come where Naruto turns 18. You'd be wondering, wait, what? Isn't Naruto, really OP by then? Along with, him, basically all of Naruto Shippuden being pretty much over with already? Normally, yeah, but we're gonna extend time a little bit. Instead of Naruto graduating from the academy at the age of 12, he does it at the age of 18 instead, just because, you kind of need to do that. So at this point, it's a little bit before Naruto graduates. We'll say it's, literally his 18th birthday, because, convenience. So, with that happening, Naruto finally discovers what his power was. As a sort of, birthmark, I guess you could. I don't know how exactly this is going to go, or I know what I'm trying to say, but it's very odd. It's very odd, I guess you could say, to actually say it, because it's YouTube. They don't really like these kinds of things, and it's whatever. So basically speaking, this power awakens itself when Naruto is technically considered a adult. So this purple light would actually shine and literally wakes Naruto up at around midnight on his 18th birthday. So Naruto wakes up because of this purple light, and he looks down at it. And the name of the ability, similar to how a basically devil fruit from One Piece works, the name of the fruit appears in the user's mind, a similar thing happens. A singular ability pops into Naruto's mind. This ability, called Manipulate. Naruto doesn't really know exactly how the ability works or if it has a time period that it works, but he knows what it's going to do. Naruto knows exactly what manipulation is, and he kind of wants to test this. So Naruto goes to somebody he considers his friend, this actually being Sakura, who also happens to have turned 18 recently, because, I can do that now. So Naruto goes over to Sakura's house. She lives by herself at this point. She's an adult now, so, she just does that. And Naruto knocks on the door. Sakura's like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Why are you here, Naruto?" And Naruto's just like, I wanted to ask you something." Sakura's like, "What? I don't want you to come in, just ask it while you're outside." Naruto activates the seal as a pretty dim purple light shines, because Naruto can kind of control its brightness, or how powerful he wants it to be. With the brighter it being, the longer it actually lasts, as more powerful it will be. Naruto doesn't know that, but he's just trying to test it out at this point. So Naruto uses the manipulation power, as he says, "I want you to love me," basically, to Sakura, who pretty much instantly, she gets a purple light in her eye as she becomes pretty much in love with Naruto. She invites Naruto inside and they start actually talking to each other, and almost immediately, base it off Sakura's love towards Sasuke. She's completely and utterly infatuated with him, along with basically, she basically wanted to fuck the guy. Let's all be honest here. At the age of 12, she wanted Sasuke's dick at 12. So it's imagine if she was 18. She's gonna want that shit. So she basically offers. She's like, "What about my body?" At this point, it's probably been around 50 minutes since this whole power started, and they've been talking. Naruto's like, "Oh, sure, I'm down for that." Naruto really has no idea that she has some sort of time limit, or even the fact that she's completely being manipulated. He just thought he changed it a little bit. He doesn't exactly know what is happening, or the fact that he completely and utterly manipulated her in order to do this. So Naruto then goes, and he's like, sure, why not? Let's do the thing. Let's do the hanky-panky. Let's do all that kind of shit. So they start doing that. And it's been around 10 minutes since they started. Or 60 minutes after this power took effect. Naruto is still going hard. His power, it's pretty cool. It lets him go for hours on end. He isn't even close because, reasons. I can do that now. And Sakura's eyes return to normal as she looks up. She sees Naruto basically hanging above her, along with not really having any memory of what happened from before this because of Naruto's spell that, was cast on her. She has no idea that she agreed to this, that she gave consent, technically gave consent? I don't know. We won't get into that topic just yet. So obviously Sakura is completely and utterly shocked, surprised, and she starts screaming that Naruto is raping her, basically. Naruto has no idea what she's going on about. He doesn't, think of activating the seal again, so he's just like, yo, dude, he's basically trying to, calm Sakura down, who is obviously not having any of it. Imagine you're, laying in your bed, and you, wake up, and you see somebody, literally fucking you. Nobody, man, you're not just gonna, calm down and be like, okay, fine, I'll listen to what you have to say. Oh, you used a mind control power on me? Oh, that's completely fine then. I'll just forget about it. No, that's not going to happen. So obviously, Sakura goes, and she tries to get Naruto arrested. This obviously works, considering, that's just kind of how that goes. They're like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll put him on trial. And they all go on trial with Sakura and Naruto and a lot of their friends kind of there just to see exactly what's happening. Most of them took Sakura's side, but some of them want to hear what Naruto's side of the story is too. This trial does not go in Naruto's favor, even in the slightest amount. There is a shit ton of evidence that says that Sakura didn't give consent. All there is that Naruto doesn't really have anybody who can back him up here. While Sakura kind of has a shit ton of friends, Naruto really doesn't. Along with Naruto being spotted multiple times trying to, basically spy on the girls inside of the baths in different areas like that. It isn't really going in Naruto's favor whatsoever, and Naruto is obviously going to be arrested. He's going to be like, yeah, you literally raped her, so you're going to jail. So Naruto's about to go to jail. He's getting really angry. He's like, no, I didn't do anything wrong, even though he kind of did. And, Naruto obviously is not exactly appreciating this much. Naruto doesn't really realize that, what he did possibly could have been a poor decision on his part. So Naruto gets really angry, and he activates the seal. This is actually completely on accident at this point, as a orange, or why the fuck would I say orange? A purple, basically, circle, kind of like Law's room that he can, control stuff in, basically appears around Naruto. Everybody in this, courtroom/trial is actually, within the circle. And Naruto has no idea exactly what he just did, or how he created this weird purple room that nobody else can really seemingly see other than himself. Everybody is continuing to talk about how, long Naruto's sentence is going to be. Should they sentence him, to death? Or, what exactly are they going to do with him? Naruto gets an idea. Forgive me. Naruto states this, and everybody in the trial's eyes once again turn purple. They simply forgive Naruto. They just allow him to leave. They're like, Naruto, you are off trial. You get to leave now. Naruto's like, oh, okay, damn, that worked. Now, this power, again, its length of how long it's actually going to last varies depending on how much power Naruto puts into it, along with how many people he's using it on at once. Since Naruto did it to an entire group of people, we'll say 30 or 40, it probably won't last, a massive amount of time. Naruto did pour most of the power that he has currently into it, and he's a little bit tired after, so we'll say this is going to last around a week. So Naruto's life goes back to normal for a week. Nobody really remembers exactly what happened, along with Sakura just kind of forgetting that it happened in the first place, along with everybody else. They're like, okay, nothing is wrong. A week would pass by. Naruto's life would seemingly return to normal. He's about to graduate from the academy, and then everybody's memories come back. Everybody basically remembers. Naruto did this, and he needs to be punished for it. So Naruto once again ends up back on the trial. However, Naruto this time is in complete and utter handcuffs, because nobody really knows exactly what Naruto did, how he, made everybody just forget about it for a certain amount of time. Nobody has any idea exactly how that happened. Naruto, let's be honest here. He still doesn't realize that, maybe what I did might have been slightly wrong. Maybe I should, actually repent for my actions. Naruto doesn't give a fuck. Naruto's like, you know what? I can just repeatedly do this. Naruto makes another massive room, this time pouring even more of his power into it, making him go almost unconscious. Naruto says the words, "Forget," and immediately everybody in that room would forget. This time there was only about 30 people in that room, and all of those people just forgot about everything that happened. Everybody basically important that was part of this case was actually, forgot about it, and this time it's probably going to last around a month. This is more than long enough for them to actually, graduate from the academy, and everything will be fine from there on. So the bell test would go, and in terms of power, Naruto really hasn't seen a massive increase to his own physical strength or physical ability or anything like that. Naruto has gained one new ability from his Domination Seal, however. Because of the fact that Naruto is using it relatively often, not in terms of what you would expect, just in terms of making people forget that he literally raped somebody, but, that's not really important, is it? No, totally not. So, so Naruto did develop a new ability with his Domination Seal, because domination doesn't necessarily just have to mean, in the bed with, another person, in a sexual way. It can also mean dominion / domination over another person in terms of physical power and, basically just I'm better than you in every way, shape, or form. This new power that Naruto gained is actually an offensive power that Naruto could use pretty well in the bell test. This power is going to be called the Vanquisher, which you'd be like, wait, what does that power do? It's not necessarily as much of a spell or power as much as a weapon of sorts. Out of the seal in Naruto's hands, a hilt appears. Naruto grabs it, and he draws it. It's a sword. Wow, that's pretty epic if you ask me, guys. That's crazy. Naruto has a sword now. So, a purple energy would swirl around the sword a little bit before entering into Naruto's hands. It would basically swirl around Naruto's body. I don't know, apparently, I guess I just don't know how to speak anymore. And it gives Naruto a pretty decent amount of power. It gives him a pretty major power boost over what he had originally. So Naruto charges towards Kakashi now with his sword, and Kakashi looked up from his book. He witnessed exactly what Naruto just did, and he's just like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck did this kid just do? So Naruto swings his sword down, and Kakashi's like, oh, he's pretty quick. But Kakashi puts away his book, drawing his kunai, and he brings it up to block Naruto's swing. But something quite interesting happens. Because of the sheer density, weight, sharpness, everything like that of the actual sword, it cuts straight through the kunai, and it begins going down towards Kakashi. Kakashi manages to substitute out of the way pretty instantly, and Naruto's sword slams itself into a pretty much basically trunk of a tree, as it basically why can't I fucking talk? As it basically, it just slices straight through it. I was going to say, cleavers right through it, but that's not a word, so I don't know why it was... Don't mind me. I'm a strange person, I guess. I don't know. But Naruto cuts straight through it. Kakashi is a little bit more nervous now that he knows he's probably going to get really majorly injured or literally killed if that sword makes contact with him because of how just good the sword is in general. Naruto charges towards Kakashi once again, this time with the flicker of blows. Being a lot faster now, Naruto's pretty easily able to outpace Kakashi with no really anything. Kakashi has to use his hands in very strategic ways to basically hit the sword out of the way if Naruto isn't using it, properly. If Naruto's using it, he can improperly, Kakashi can hit the sword where it wouldn't be, sharp, on the flat end of the sword, and deflect it out of the way, making Naruto lose balance before Kakashi lunges forward, punching Naruto in the gut, sending him flying backwards. Kakashi realizes that this is a good advantage, and he continues forward. However, this was a trap by Naruto, because Naruto is smart now. Naruto's just cool like that. Naruto allowed Kakashi to hit away the flat of his sword, and he pretended to go off balance because of it. As Naruto draws a new weapon, this being the Domination Dagger, I'm having too much fun with this what if. I like these kinds of what ifs. It's just really fun because I can just do whatever the fuck I want with it, basically. So with Naruto dragging this new dagger, he lunges forward towards Kakashi now completely in control of his own balance, because he was from the start. Now with Kakashi lunging forward, his own momentum would literally be carrying itself into Naruto's, basically, dagger. Naruto lunges forward, and just before Naruto's about to impale Kakashi through the chest, Naruto stops. He doesn't want to kill him or anything, and he grabs the bells from Kakashi, because Kakashi can't really move out of the way. His momentum moving forward is still going, and he doesn't really want to get stabbed, so he can't really move out of the way in an efficient way. Naruto manages to grab the bells pretty easily, and he ends up throwing one to Sakura for obvious reasons. So with that happening, they do pass the bell test, and if worse comes to worse, Naruto can just manipulate Kakashi into letting them pass. So either way, they really pass, no matter how you really want to look at it. Even if Kakashi's like, yeah, I would let you pass, but that wasn't teamwork, so no. But yeah, Naruto could just be like, make us pass. And since it's only one person, he could do it for a really long amount of time to Kakashi. So Naruto goes back to the village. At this point, it's probably been about 3 weeks since Naruto used that power inside of that courtroom, and nobody's really brought up the fact that Naruto may or may not have actually raped somebody. Nobody's really talked about that in quite a while. Naruto, he's getting a little horny now, so Naruto decides, he's like, you know what? Sakura was a little bit of a bitch about it. What if we go to Hinata this time? So Naruto goes to Hinata, and they start talking a little bit. At this point, again, Hinata kind of has her own little place because, she's an adult, she lives by herself, and everything like that. They would actually begin talking, and Naruto, the longer he talks to Hinata, the more he starts to actually enjoy her company, the more he starts to like her. And the same, I guess you could say, goes for Hinata. And if things come to things, and Naruto doesn't even have to use his power. Hinata's just kind of down to do, the thing with Naruto. Naruto's like, oh, okay, well, that's convenient. This isn't going to end up in a lawsuit. Cool. So, with that actually happening, Naruto, he does the dirty with Hinata, and they do that for a while. Again, like I said, Naruto can go on for like hours and hours at a time because of his seal, and Hinata enjoys it to the utmost. Some more time would actually pass by, and it would be time for the Land of Waves mission to actually begin. So, it would begin, and the two, basically, demon Chunin, whatever the hell, brothers, they still come out, they pretend to kill Kakashi, and Naruto, being the cool, chill man that he is, he just draws his sword. He swings it, cutting the chains of one of them, as he basically takes out the dagger, stabbing him through the chest, dropping him to the ground, leaving only the other demon brother basically remaining. He charges forward in a rage because, his brother just got slain. Naruto casually moves out of the way of his kunai or whatever he was using, before once again shoving the dagger forward, this time into the other man's chest. Wow, they're both dead now. That's pretty epic if you ask me. So Naruto is just like, hey, Kakashi, you want to come out? I noticed that you were gone. I noticed that you left. Sneaky little man over there. I didn't say you could leave me like that. Like, come on. Get back over here. So they end up going. They continue moving forward, and eventually a mist would roll over, and Zabuza comes out. With Zabuza coming out, Kakashi goes, and he's like, you know what, I have to be the one to face him because, you guys are just not strong enough. So Zabuza goes, and he faces off against Kakashi. And Kakashi obviously still gets put in the water prison. I don't really see why that would change. Like, come on. Why would that change in the first place? So Naruto's just like, oh, I guess I gotta save the day again. I gotta be a Chad again. So he runs forward. He runs across the water. Naruto knows how to water walk because he's just cool like that as he charges across. He's running at Zabuza, who's just like, oh, whatever, I'll just make a clone. So he makes the clone, and it goes, and it tries to fend off against Naruto. Naruto throws his dagger, something that they were not anticipating, even though, they throw kunai. He was just like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that, bro, as the dagger goes through, and the water clone dissipates. But the dagger doesn't stop there, as it continues going, pointed directly at Zabuza's hand where it is in the water. And Zabuza's like, oh no, I have to remove my hand now because Naruto is going to cut me. So Naruto's just like, get fucking wrecked. Kakashi gets out of the water prison and he's just like, Thanks, Naruto. I'll take it from here. He undoes his little eye band and he's just like, get fucking wrecked as he takes out his Sharingan. Haku still comes out and he's just like, I'll take it from here as he throws his Sinbon needles, I think that's what they're called at least, at Zabuza, and he kills, yeah, for sure, bud, sure. And yeah, he quote-unquote kills Zabuza, takes him back. So, eventually they end up going to Tazuna's shack. They go and they rest there for a while, along with Naruto, Sasuke, and the rest beginning to train. But it's been about another week and a few days since Naruto had used that spell, as Sakura regains her memories once again. Did Naruto rape me? But that's where I'm going to leave this part off. So, see you guys in the next part. Peace out. Bye.